find the mask was what you expected it to be when you were walking around?
Did I find the mask what it was expected to be?
Yeah, did you expect it?
Well, Wayne Toth made the mask. He made a mold of my face, and he cast the mask, and I went into Wayne's studio and put the mask on for the first time, and that was just intense. Just intense. It was a fantastic feeling. And then when I had the knife in my hand, I kind of feel fulfilled.
Now, I got to answer another question on the same thing in the mask. As you know, Deborah Hill and Tommy Lee Wallace were arguing about who the character was going to be. And Tommy Lee Wallace wanted the clown face to continue on from the kid up to whatever. But Deborah Hill said, no, no, no. I wrote the script, and this is the way it's going to be. So they went down to the magic shop on Hollywood Boulevard, and they looked at all the masks on the wall, and she picked out Daphne's mask. Now, that mask was very thick and very big. It was super solid. I mean, super solid. So when they put it on, I had to put a towel around my head because it was so big and sweaty, and it was made out of latex. So when I did the fall, I was worried more about not hitting my butt on the railing and hitting my head on the eaves, because it was only like 19 inches the difference, the way it was projected on there, that my legs wouldn't hit, and it flipped me over because John Carpenter wanted me to stay in the same pose that I was taking the shot of the bullet. Well, what happened when I was paying attention of my flight, the mask turned on me, and I'm now looking at the ears. And so I just concentrated on landing, because what we wanted to do is that most quarter pets are about anywhere up to 30 inches deep, you know, and made it with a lot of air. And so guys would hit and bounce back up, maybe 5, 6, 10 inches. Your legs flip up and all that. So what we did, I made a special eyeball pad that was only 10 inches thick, but 5 by 10 wide. And I put coffee cups, styrofoam coffee cups underneath. So as soon as I hit it, I compressed the coffee cup. I didn't back up. So when I went through camera, I stayed out of camera. And that's what we did for that. But that mask was big. And it flipped. And I got to tell you, looking at somebody's ears is not good when you're going into the airport. But that's what happened.
See, that's why I had them fit mine to my head. And I used my coffee cups for coffee.
Yeah.
But no, I know. I would have never wanted to take that fall. I mean,
see, they had
money.
They had money. We didn't have it. We had 300,000. What you have? 5, 10 million?
Yeah, I was up there.
Yeah. You know, we had hamburgers and Coca-Cola, and you had steak and what was it?
And we had hamburgers and Coca-Cola too.
They had a catering truck. We had McDonald's.
Okay, there I would have drawn the line.
Any other questions?
Yeah.
For both of you, what are some of your best memories out of doing all these movies? What did you enjoy the most about
This movie here?
Every movie's different. You get different memories from everyone. You know, I mean, it's. I had a fantastic time doing Sabretooth and X-Men. You know, I had a fantastic time working with Rob Zombie on the Halloweens. I had a great time doing Troy. You know, Scorpion King, all of them. They all have different memories. But my motto is, if I'm not having a good time, I'm not going to be there. So, try and have a good time.
My recollection of almost 60 years now, I was very fortunate. I started in the business rodeo at the age of 12, doing junior rodeo, you know, little sheep bulldogging and all that stuff, riding little calves, you know, learning the process of it. But Jack Lord was doing a television show, and that was kind of a rodeo show, and they cast me to be one of the young cowboys riding in the background. That was when I started. But through the years, I was under contract with Barry Bostwick. I don't know if you all know Barry Bostwick. Barry Bostwick is, you know, he did Rocky Horror. He did Tony Award on that high school show that they did, John Travolta and all that in the film. But not only that, I was under contract with David Hasselhoff. It was a physical double in Knight Rider, where I did all his fights and jumps and transfers and all that stuff. I worked with Peter O'Toole for almost between 6 and 11 years, depending on when he was sober. And, so the question was that I worked overseas in Italy and Africa and all those places. But when you come down, everything is precious when you deal with these celebrities, because I had a great ride. I had stage, because I came out of stage, and I had film, and I had friends. Because my mentors were all the people that you saw work with John Wayne, Haywards, and Robersons, and Reggie Clark, and Bear Huggins. All these guys that made the cowboy westerns that you watched on TV today sensational. Then all these people, they put their parts into me, and I became what I became in the film because they liked me, they cherished me for what I did, because I was working the legacy that they brought to me, and I was trying to continue on. But the most impressive thing I had, which I never thought in 100 years of my life, that I would ever have a chance to meet or double and work with in a film. And I got a call from Fox, and they told me that we're going to do this Raiders of the Lost Ark. And I said, well, they already shot it with Harrison Ford and all those guys. He said, no, we're talking about another actor, English actor. And I said, you're going to do it again? Yeah, this time we're going to do it right. I said, wait a minute. You're telling Lucas this is right? He said, no. He said, the guy you're going to double is Stuart Granger. And I said, Stuart Granger? And if you remember Stuart Granger, he was probably the most sincere, beautiful man in the world, and playing heroes and all those swashbucklers and all those Irish films in Europe and all that stuff. He came over here where I got to double him, and he was exactly what I always thought he was. He was a prick. But he was a nice guy. And we talked about the safaris and all that. So there's so many with the questions that the gentleman asked. You can't pause, but Stuart Granger, when I was a little kid, umpteen years later, I get to double a guy. Now, how can you say that in the world that you would ever come to that? And that's what movie industry allows you to do. When you're good in your craft, and they sell the industry, the producers, the casting directors, and all the people in the independents, they highlight you and they like what you do, they cast you, and you go forward, and you go forward, and you go forward. So I was very lucky, and I thank God, and I thank all the producers and all my mentors, and I thank this guy for going on further 2 years after mine, and I have to go a little further. Ron Salvi had his opening premiere at Grumman Chinese 3 years ago, November?
Yeah, I think, well, that was like 2007, wasn't it?
Yeah, and I got a phone call, and on my phone, it said, hey, this is Ron Salvi, I want you to come to my Red Tent. I said, what the hell is that? Somebody's pulling a joke. And it was some guy impersonating him or whatever it was, but they invited me to the screening to walk the red carpet. And the first time I met him. So anyway, I met him for the first time. He was a dapper guy. He was shaved at that time. And he had this nice, what was it, suit, polished evening jacket?
Yeah, I think I was just a little overdressed for that.
Yeah, and I said, wow, we got one of these guys working, you know. But I got to say, he was a sweetheart. Not that the other one didn't met, but he was really nice and humble. We didn't get to talk a lot, but we were asked, Ron was asked to go outside on Hollywood Boulevard, which there was 3,000 to 4,000 people behind the barrier, and they asked me to go out there, which I said, hey guys, it's their show, why me? So they took us outside, and the people broke through the railing on Hollywood Boulevard. Rob took off running. The security and the sheriff said, hey, come on, go on. I said, no, they just want a picture and thing. So I stood out there in the middle of the street and got raped.
But you enjoyed it, right?
At this age, you enjoy anything.
Tweet, tweet, twiddle, twiddle, right?
So, you know, they carried me back and they put me in the back thing there, and then they did the presentation and they did the screening. And then when I looked at the film, I said, you know, Carpenter Michael Myers was a pansy to this guy.
I told you I was going to kick it up a notch, didn't I?
Boy, he took it up more than a notch. So anyway, I was very appreciative of meeting him that night and all the people that were in the cast. It was a great red carpet, and I wish you the very best.
Thank you. Same to you. Any more questions? Somebody has to have some questions. Yes. Did I research the roles for Michael Myers? Yeah, I did. I did not talk to any of the other actors. I did not know any of the other actors at the time, but what I did do is I watched all the Halloween films because I wanted to see what was brought to the role in the past, except for number 3, because as you guys know, Season of the Witch, Michael Myers just came and appeared. It's like, what the hell was that, right? Anyhow, so I did watch all the Halloweens and see what all the different actors brought to it, and I wanted to bring that to it, like the circle walk and some things, but then put my own spin to it, and like I said, kick it up a notch and make the killings a little bit more extreme and that. But yes, I did watch, because when you're asked to do a Halloween film and play Michael Myers, it's a pretty damn iconic character, and you better get it right. You know, I'm just thankful that the family seemed to think that I did an okay job with it. So, yeah. Thank you. Thank you.
The other thing I'm going to bring up, to continue on this man has his own production company. He's got films coming out, films that they're editing now, and films they're going to be making. I'm working on 2 films. I just finished one called Devil's Nine, which we played 5 months in the swamps down in Florida, chasing these mythic Satan people that were created back 3,000 years before Christ. And it's a DV type film, digitalized, fantastic visualization with live animation. And we finished that. That should come out sometime at the end of this year, God willing. I'm doing another one called the Sci-Fi Channel movie of the week called The Pit, which I'll be starring in as playing the goofy doctor, and with this real status type government guy who thinks he owns the government, probably like the administration we have today. But anyway, I play the doctor, and I'll be finishing that, and then I'll be starting a Western in August, like the ritual theater, local theater, of some current films coming up. Now, this gentleman has a lot of stuff going on, and so I'm going to turn that over back to him.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I just started on my own production company, Main Entertainment, and our first picture is Compound Fracture. It's a supernatural thriller with myself, Derek Mears, who was Jason in Friday the 13th, who is a buddy of mine, a drinking buddy of mine. Not that drinking is good, I'm not promoting it at all. Just saying, okay? And there's the poster right there, and Mr. Muse Watson, the killer from I Know What You Did Last Summer. So it has 3 serial killers in this picture, and it's also got Leslie Easterbrook in it, Dan Roebuck's in it, and it is in the editing stage right now. We have Tyler Bates, who did the score and music for 300, and The Watchmen. He is doing our music. And then from there we go on to post. So it'll be coming out in a few months. So everybody look for that. And yeah, so do we have any more questions? Somebody asked, yes, we got a question.
I forgot when I talked to you before. Did you get to keep any of your memorabilia from, let's say, X-Men or Halloween?
Did I keep any of my memorabilia?
Like the knife, the mask, the suit, the claws.
Okay, where should I start? Yes, I've got the rubber forehead from Sabretooth. I've got the claws from Sabretooth. I've got the scleral eyepieces from Sabretooth. So yes, I did keep stuff from X-Men. Troy, I've got the whole leather outfit because my wife likes seeing me in this. Right?
I'm going for the work.
And
elaborate on that?
Huh?
Elaborate a little more.
And for Halloween, to answer that question, I have the original mask from 1, the original mask from 2, I have the orange mask, I have both of the knives. At the end of the day, the last scene that we did on Halloween 1, the prop master is a big horror fan. And the props department came to me and presented me with the bloody knife and said, "Here, you deserve this. You took the character to another level." I said, "See, what the hell am I going to do with the bloody knife? I'll put it on my wall at home." Yeah. So yeah, I have the props. I have the suits. I have all kinds of crazy stuff. I keep them for my kids. Yeah, right? You never know. They might decide they want to become a serial killer someday. I can outfit them, right? What the hell? Any other questions?
On Halloween 1, for example, everything was under security, especially the mask. Deborah Hill would bring the mask to work, and Deborah Hill would take the mask home. And the reason was because they didn't want Shatner or anybody to know whose mask it was. And not only that, at that time, everybody was filing lawsuits for postage pictures that were being used in films and television that didn't have permission. So they were really worried about that. But no, there was five extra masks made, but they wasn't as good quality, and they fell apart and they disappeared, and I don't know where they went. But there was nothing left of that show that anybody really wanted other than what Deborah Hill touched on.
See, and that's why I did my movie with the rock star, because we looted the trailer. You know, Rob at the end, he goes, "Come on, let's raid the props department. We're getting some shit." I'm like, "Cool, let's go." And we all just walked out with a bunch of stuff. They hated it, but what can you do, right? Any other questions? Yeah.
Was it difficult to create a character while at the same time not be able to dive off your facial features and expressions?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing. That's one of the reasons why Rob said, "Hey, I want an actor to play it because I want someone that can bring life to the character." Yeah, it is very tough when you don't have your voice. Because with your voice, you know, you tell somebody to piss off, they get it, right? Whereas when you're just using your body, you come, you know? Or if you want to back off, or, you know, so in the first one, in the asylum, I carried myself differently, I walked differently, I kind of slouched, and then throughout the film, as I got my mask back and dug out my mask, and then put the mask on, and then Michael Myers was back to the killing machine that he was. So yeah, it's kind of a neat acting experiment to be able to do something like that. Yeah. Any other questions?
Come on, ask those questions.
Yes.
For you, were you like upset when they redid Halloween? Were you upset when they redid Halloween? When they redid it?
Were you upset when they redid Halloween?
No. In real life, I did one. That's the only one I've ever seen. I haven't seen any other until they invited me to see his show. So I saw the beginning and I saw the last one.
So you saw the two best?
Yeah. I've never watched any of the other shows, but I know all the Michael Myers because they're buddies of mine. And we had one reunion, and we all got together. But no, nothing like that.
They did talk to me about doing another one. They put it on the shelf. It's hard to say what they're going to do. You know, there's talk Halloween 3D. There's all kinds of talk of other stuff. I'm just going to have to wait and see, read the script, you know, if they present it to me. And if there is another Michael Myers, you know, that's fine. I just hope he sucks. No, I'm kidding. I wish the franchise the very best. Yes, right. No, I'm kidding. Any other questions?
Yeah, does playing Michael Myers give you a taste for playing horror films? I don't know. Did you do horror films before this or anything? And did this give you a taste for doing more?
Yeah, I did a little film called How to Make a Monster, which I don't know if you'd want to call it a horror film or whatever, but yeah, I did that one, and then I did Rob Zombie's Devil's Rejects, where I took over the role of Rufus, and I was on that for 4 days. Got to shoot at a bunch of cops and have a great time, and then from that he asked me. He wrote the Halloween and called me and said, "Hey, you want to do the Halloween?" So in in essence, it helped me start my own company. So I'm greatly indebted to Rob Zombie. I'm greatly indebted to the Halloween franchise to give me an opportunity to get into this genre. I mean, I'm just having a great time. You know, because it's because of you fans that we have a job and a career, and it's just fantastic. And the horror fans are some of the most loyal fans out there. And my next film is a supernatural thriller for all you paranormal people. Just saying. How many people actually wore the mask in that movie then?
Everybody wore the mask in the movie. You can go to dinner and there are people wearing the mask. But no. The people who wore the mask was the following people. You had Nick Castle, you had Tony Moran, you had Tommy Lee Wallace, you had me, you had The Grip, and that about five?
About five.
Five?
About five,
and
yeah.
then on some of the inserts and pickup shots that they used, there was some, I think Tommy Lee picked it up again, and then one other guy picked it up. But I don't know if they used those in the final product or not. But I think there was 5 people total. Well, Deborah Hill wore the mask, but I don't know where it was inserted at, or if it was used, or it was on the floor. I can't tell you. But her hand, the hand you see Michael Myers go to the door, that was Deborah Hill in the closer. That was her. But it seemed like everybody wore the mask. When the Chow Hall truck came and the movie vehicles, and we were sitting there, somebody would walk with the costume and sit down there, and Michael Myers was eating with you. So you never really know it was a joke, but it was a lot of people were. But in front of camera, I don't know, maybe 5 in place every hill.
Wow. Keep talking, I just got my coffee. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
Well, you know,
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. Shut up, Jake. You're talking enough. Give me a chance.
In his show, Michael Myers' mask was deteriorating. I mean, got older and older and older. And so he might not remember.
He is going to keep talking, isn't he? Okay.
So I'm going to turn it over to him, and then we'll go into questions what you guys want to do. And here.
Well, here we go. Thank you. Well, how I got the job was I was up in Canada, in Vancouver, getting ready to talk to producers about another picture, and my phone rang, and it was Rob Zombie. And I just did the Devil's Rejects with him, and, you know, Rob Zombie calls your phone, you kind of pick it up, right? Just to see what the hell he's going to say. So he goes, so what are you doing? I want you to do my next movie. I said, what is it? It's Halloween. I said, oh, Jesus, Rob, I do not want to wear a hockey mask in a movie. Fuck. Right? Right? Yeah, that's how much I knew about horror films at the time. Rob goes, Rob movie, dumbass. Okay, thanks. It's the William Shatner mask, by the way. Oh, okay, I don't want to wear a white mask. No, we're going to age it. It's going to look real cool. You're going to like it. Let me tell you what I want to do. And he explained how they want to do a backstory and make Michael Myers be a product of his environment. And he wanted me to take it to the next level and not just be a one-dimensional killer going like this. I said, okay, so I do get to kill a lot of people though, right? And he said, yes, whatever way you'd like to kill them. I said, okay, I'm in. And I'm here standing here talking to you with one of the first Michael Myers.